it's Katie with String Expert. Today we're working on the traditional folk tune, Go Tell Aunt Rodi. This is a super fun, a little bit faster piece, kind of a piece, and I love it. So let's get started learning. Let me play it for you. This is a super fun folky piece. Now, I want to double check a little bit as far as technique goes before we get started. So one thing to remember when you play the violin is that you need to have short fingernails. And this is really important because we put the tops of our fingers down. We don't sort of angle our finger out at all. So we want to make sure that our fingers are nice and round and the tops of our fingers are touching the string. So in order to do this, you have to have short, perfectly trimmed fingernails. So on a regular basis, I would say every couple of days I go in and trim my fingernails in order to make sure that they're short enough to get the best possible sound out of my playing. So keep that in mind as you're playing. So when we start this piece, we're going to start with our first finger on the first tape and our second finger on the second tape on the D string. And we're going to play the F sharp note twice. So we're going to play F sharp and it's going to be a long full bow. And then another F sharp and an E. Or 2-1. So it's 2-2-1 on the D string. And then we have open D, and then E1, E1. And then second finger, first finger, open D again. So let's try that section again, nice and slowly. And what we're concentrating on right now is just getting the notes carefully. So let's do that. Second finger, first finger. Open D, D1, D1. Second finger, first finger, open D. Let's play that one more time. Then moving on, we have open A, and third finger on the G string. So we're going to have open A, and then slide over and put 1, 2, 3 fingers down for third finger on the D string. And then second finger for F sharp. We have first finger open, D, open A, F sharp. So we have first finger open D, A open F sharp. And then moving on to the last note, it's super big and super long, and that's because it's a whole note. So we're going to hold this note for 4 long counts. So we're going to think 1, 2, 3, 4. You got it. Okay, let's start from the beginning of the entire piece, and let's practice through that section nice and slow so we make sure that we know all the notes really, really well. This piece, it's really important to maintain and understand the concept of dividing our bow up. So what we're going to do is we're not going to give each note the same amount of bow because that doesn't work with this piece. We have some notes that are held longer and you need a really slow bow, and other notes that are held very quickly, so you need short, fast bows. So what you're going to do is, for the first note, you're going to pull the bow all the way to the top. Then the next two notes are going to be two faster bows. So you're going to do two notes at the top of the bow, and then for the next four long notes, you're going to use the whole bow back. So long, 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 long. So I hope that you remember that a quarter note equals one count. So anytime you see a quarter note in this piece, which looks like this, you're going to use half a bow. And anytime you see a half note that looks like this, which is two counts, you're going to use the whole bow. And anytime you see a whole note which looks like this, you're definitely going to want to use the whole bow. So be very careful and mindful when you start playing to really pay attention with that. So let's work on the bowing a little bit. So we started at the beginning with a whole bow and two half bows. Then we have a whole bow and a whole bow. Whole bow, whole bow. That's kind of a tongue twister. And then two half bows, followed by another whole bow. Whole bow, two half bows. Whole bow, whole bow. Half bows for all the next four notes. Now at this point you should be at the very tip of your bow, and this is important because when you hit the next note, the whole note, you need to use that entire bow from start to finish in order to make a good sound. Just like that. So that is the entire Go Tell Aunt Rodi first half. Hope you enjoyed learning. Next time we're going to work on part 2. Thanks for watching.